Hey, what's up, everyone? So, I got a question for you guys. How many of you out there wake up and the first thing you do in the morning is check your phone? Then maybe 30 minutes goes by, you're still on your phone. Maybe 2 hours goes by, you're still on your phone. For some of you, maybe even 4 or 5 hours go by and you're still on your phone. Next thing you know, you get off your phone, you realize you haven't done anything the entire day. You wasted half of your day, basically, and you have anxiety about it. Or how many of you out there look at your screen time app and the average daily screen time for the week is over 8 hours? Chances are, if you're one of these, then you may need a media fast. And chances are, if you're watching this video, maybe you don't fall in one of those two categories, but you still want to do a media fast anyways. Now, what is a media fast? For me, the media fast was all types of entertainment cut out for an entire week. That includes TV, YouTube, Netflix, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all socials, cut out for a week. No movies. The only thing I was allowed to do for 1 week was listen to music, because if I'm working out or I'm working or something, I was allowed to listen to music while I was doing that. Now, basically, this was one of the harder things I've done, only because of how ingrained the act of just checking things is in my brain and in most people's brains. Like, the first thing you do is check your phone in the morning. It's like instinct. And so the first couple days for me were the hardest. That's why I'll get into it in a little bit later, what I did and what I went through. But I want to start out this video just by going through like a couple studies that I've found pertaining to social media use and screen time, basically, just to show you guys maybe like where the benefits lie when it comes to doing a media fast. And I know probably if you're watching this, you probably already are thinking about doing it anyways, but I'm going to show you guys anyways. So the first article is I tried to get some official articles for you guys, not just random websites. So it's called Social Media Use and its Connection to Mental Health: A Systematic Review. And this comes from the National Library of Medicine. Now, if you skip to the conclusion of this article, I'll read it for you real quickly, just the important part. So, okay, lately, studies have found that using social media platforms can have a detrimental effect on the psychological health of its users. However, the extent to which the use of social media impacts the public is yet to be determined. This systematic review has found that social media envy, I want to highlight that word, envy, can affect the level of anxiety and depression in individuals. In addition, the other potential causes of anxiety and depression have been identified, which require further exploration. So, in the beginning, it says that social media impacts the public yet to be determined. So, there's other studies that show that social media is actually a good thing for society. And I don't think necessarily as a whole it's a bad thing. I just think overusing it is a problem. I think overusing it is a problem. Overdoing anything in your life can turn into a problem. I think I heard a quote once that said, "Too much of something will turn into its opposite." Now, I don't know how true that is, but I know that overusing social media can be a problem. And I wanted to highlight this word envy because it says that this systematic review has found that social media envy can affect the level of anxiety and depression in individuals. Now, what that means is, okay, so when you're when you're looking at a screen, although your brain can interpret the fact that you're looking at a screen and this isn't real life, the chemicals that go off in your brain are the same chemicals that are released if you were to see whatever you're looking at in real life. Now, I want that to sink in real quick. So let's just say you see a handsome man, a beautiful woman, right? On a screen. You're scrolling through social media, you see a hot girl, a hot guy. The chemicals that are released in your brain, the dopamine, serotonin, whatever, what have you, are the same chemicals that are released as if you saw them in real life. Okay? Even though you can interpret that this is just a screen and it's not real life, the same chemicals are released, and that's why it's so addictive. So you're scrolling for hours on end, seeing different things that you like. Let's just say you see Lamborghinis, you see big houses, you see beautiful people, and all these chemicals are being released in your mind. And then by the time you get off the screen, you realize that you have none of these things, and that's where the anxiety sinks in. The reason you keep going back to it is because you can get the same dopamine effects from looking at pictures that you can if you saw it in real life. And in real life, it takes massive amounts of work to see these things and experience these things. You want a big house, you gotta go work years on end to get the money to do that. Okay? You want a Lamborghini, same thing. Okay? You want a beautiful wife or a beautiful husband, it's gonna take social work, well, maybe not work, but you have to go out socially, you have to meet people, you have to have years of relationships for that to happen. So it takes a lot of work. But with social media, you can get those same chemicals released in your brain basically instantly, which is why it's so addictive. But by the time you get off of it, that's when the envy, anxiety, and depression sink in. Okay? Now, I think I heard Jordan Peterson say, a young person today can see more naked men or more naked women online than any king of the past could see their entire life within one day. Now let that sink in. A man or a woman right now can go on a website and see basically an infinite number of women and infinite number of men that they want to see, completely naked. Now, I might have to bleep out that word, actually. But I don't think I'm allowed to use that, actually. I apologize. But basically, this was not able to be done before the internet, before screens. So we don't actually know what kind of effects it has on us. And that's where it says right here. The extent to which the use of social media impacts the public is yet to be determined. Now, that's why I want you guys to take all this with a grain of salt. And just be careful, when you use these things. In my opinion, social media can be more addictive than hard drugs. Because hard drugs take hard work to get them. You have to go work to get money to buy them. It takes work to use them. Okay? And the entire time that you're using them, you know that it's bad. Inherently, the entire society knows that it's bad. You get physical side effects from it instantly that you know are bad. Okay? If you use alcohol, you get a hangover, things like that. So in your head, you know that you need to stop and you know it's a problem. With social media, it's not necessarily frowned upon. You could sit on your phone for 8 hours a day and not even notice it. Okay? Now, down the line, you're going to notice the effects. If you sit on your phone 8 hours a day, obviously. Excuse me. But, yeah, it can be more addictive. Now, that's not to say that there's withdrawal effects, really. Physical withdrawal effects, obviously. Hard drugs can have a lot more physical side effects, obviously, things like that. But you get what I mean. It's very addictive. Now I'm going to show you another article here. Let's see here. Okay, so this one is called Screen Time and the Brain, Digital Devices Can Interfere with Everything from Sleep to Creativity by Deborah Bradley Reuter. And this one's from Harvard Medical School. I want to skip to the part of the article that I found important. Okay. Here we go. Virtually all games and social media work on what's called a variable reward system, which is exactly what you get when you go to Mohegan Sun and pull a lever on a slot machine. It balances the hope that you're going to make it big with a little bit of frustration and, unlike the slot machine, a sense of skill needed to improve. A young person's brain lacks a fully developed self-control system to help them with stopping this kind of obsessive behavior. The experience of growing up today as youth moves seamlessly between online and offline environments is the focus of an international research project that Rich is leading. Okay, so the beginning part right here, it says it's like pulling a lever on a slot machine. It's just as addictive, guys, if not more. Because the fact that it's associated with your real life and it's not frowned upon, and you can do it endlessly. With a slot machine, you run out of money eventually. With social media, it costs nothing. And the fact that it says right here, a sense of skill is needed to improve, in your mind, you know that you can always do better. You can always improve somehow because you see someone that's always better than you. So you never stop trying. Okay? With a slot machine, you're going to run out of money. Everyone's on the same slot machine. There's no skill involved, so you're gonna stop eventually. This is how addictive it is, guys. Now, that's not to say it's bad and you need to cut it out of your life, because I don't think that's good either. You don't want to be a nomad, that no one knows about. You can't even really be successful right now without being online. In this part, it says a young person's brain lacks a fully developed self-control system to help them with stopping this kind of obsessive behavior. So this is starting in young kids, okay? I've seen kids as young as 10 with social media accounts, maybe younger. They don't even know what's going on at that point and how obsessive it can get. And they don't even have the fully developed self-control system, like it says right here, to stop it. Okay? Their parents might not even know how detrimental it is to them. And the screens eventually. This is talking about screen time right here. I want to emphasize that. This isn't even just social media, okay? This is movies, this is television, all that type of stuff. Just the chemicals that are released in your brain every time you turn the screen on, like I said earlier, that's what becomes addictive, and you have obsessive behavior over. Now, right here it says the experience of growing up today as youth moves seamlessly between online and offline environments is the focus of an international research project that Rich is leading. Right here it says seamlessly between online and offline environments. These things have become so easy to use now, our phones especially, that it's seamless. It's one tap away. Okay? It's basically an extension of your body. It's basically another body part at this point. And let me give you an example. Let's just say you're a pitcher, okay? You're a baseball pitcher. And you use your right arm to pitch every single day, 8 hours a day. It's going to become exhausted, it's going to become overused, and it's going to mess up other parts of your body and your life. The same thing goes with using your phone. Okay? Or your computer. If you overuse it, it's going to cause problems in your life. Okay? Now, those are just a couple articles to give you guys examples of maybe the benefits of doing a media fast. Now, chances are, if you're watching this video, you want to do it anyways, or you're considering it. Now, I'm going to go through with you my experience. So I did 7 days. 7 days. Media Fest. No TV, no movies, no social media, no YouTube. All I was allowed to do is listen to music. Now, YouTube was the hardest. Okay? I was allowed to check email if I needed to. I was allowed to pay a bill online if I needed to. If I absolutely had to go online, I was able to use it. But there's no one that's going to, be your coach and check you through this. So just hold yourself accountable. Okay? The first couple days are going to be extremely hard. Not because it's hard to cut it out, just because you are so used to checking your phone all the time or checking your email all the time or whatever that it's just an instinct. Like, I found myself just going to my phone instinctively. I didn't even think about it. That's why I had to delete these certain apps, like social media apps, YouTube, all this stuff, off of my phone for the entire week, because I found myself tapping on it. And I was like, oh, what am I doing? Like, I shouldn't even be doing this right now. Like, you forget, So that was my experience with the first few days. It's very hard. It's much easier if you delete the apps for a week. Your accounts aren't gonna go anywhere. They're still there. Don't worry about it. You can just re-download them at the end of the week. And after around 3 to 4 days, that's when I really started to see like the main benefits. Because the first few days, you're just bored all day. You're like, what am I gonna do? Like, I have nothing to do. But you start to get used to that after a couple days. And then day 3 or 4, you start to incorporate more work into your life, or more other things. Going outside, going on runs, working out. You don't have a choice. You're so bored that you're like, okay, well, I'll just do productive things instead, I never got as much work done in 1 week than I did that week. At least that I can remember. Okay? It's extremely beneficial. Extremely beneficial. You'll start to notice the effects and reap the benefits around day 3 or 4, in my opinion. And then the rest of the week, you start to lose this attachment to certain social medias, and you almost don't even want to get back on it by the end of the week. It's extremely beneficial, guys. I can't stress that enough. Maybe for some people it might not be. This is another tip I wanted to bring up. If your work has to do with being online, then keep doing your work. Obviously, don't cut out work. But this is for, personal social media use, personal entertainment. One big tip that I've found that can help the most. Now, most people can't do this, but if you have the means and the money to do this, try to get a separate computer for work. It's solely meant for work. So no personal things are even on it. So you don't even have the temptation to do that. Try to get a work phone, okay? So you can turn off your personal phone during the day. You can turn off your personal computer during the day. And you can focus on work. If you can, try to get a separate office for your work. Try not to do your work in your room. Obviously, a lot of people can't do this. They don't have the means and the money to do it. I couldn't do this, which is why I had to delete apps off of my phone. But these are things that if I could do, I will do, And I will do them in the future. I want a separate office, separate computer, separate work phone, all for work. Okay? That's one big tip that I've found. And another benefit that I got from this 1 week Media Fest is that I saved $800 a year on monthly subscriptions. That's about $67 a month just in subscriptions to apps, which is kind of mind-boggling. I mean, $800 isn't that much per year, but it's a lot. It's a lot of money. That's enough to go on a vacation somewhere, certain vacations, not all of them. But that's enough to go on a trip somewhere. That's enough to do many things with. Okay. By the end of the week, I was like, I don't even care to get back on these apps and stuff. So why am I paying for subscriptions for them? So I canceled all those subscriptions. And it took a second to get used to when I got back on them. because I wasn't subscribed. So I didn't have all the membership benefits, but within a couple days, like, you forget about it and you're back to normal. I never felt so close to how I did when I was a kid than I did during this 1 week media fast. It's like I was just dreaming this entire time and then I woke up. You know what I mean? Because when I was a kid, I didn't have a computer. Or I think I had a computer at a pretty young age, but the computer's a little harder to use. I didn't have a phone, you know? I did things outside. I did things with friends, like normal stuff, you know what I mean? And when you do this fast, it's almost like you've been like stuck in a screen this whole time, and then you just woke up and you look around, you know? And you're like, holy shit. Like, you really start to realize how many hours you put in on these apps and these media devices, you know? Now that's going to lead me into the final part of this discussion. I don't necessarily think a 7-day media fast is beneficial long term. Like, I don't think you should do this once a month, if like necessarily, because like I said, if you're trying to be successful right now in this society, you're going to need it to be online. I mean, even me making this YouTube video right now, I'm online, you know? So I think the most beneficial thing you can do, if you have the discipline for it, do the 1 week fast. Feel the benefits of it and really feel what it's like to just cut this out of your life. Cut all these habits out of your life and just feel the benefits from that. It's exponentially beneficial. I can't even describe how amazing it felt. Okay? But after that, if you have the discipline, incorporate this fast into daily life. That's my biggest recommendation. So don't use social media until you've gotten all your work done. Okay? Until you've cleaned the house, until you've done your workout, everything that you need to do. Don't use social media. Unless it's for your work. If you're using it for work, then solely use it for work, okay? This is going to be very hard for some people because it's one click away and you're into something else, okay? It's very hard for me too. And you'll slip up, but just try to stay focused. Okay, so basically, don't use social media, don't use any type of media, don't look at anything until all your work is done for the day. Then maybe use it for a select limited amount of time every day. Turn off the screen an hour before you go to bed if you can, okay? Don't use it when you wake up in the morning. Wake up and go start doing your work or go on a walk or whatever. Okay? Because it's going to trap you in the morning. And then next thing you know, it's going to ruin your whole day because something made you think a certain way and what have you, you know? Use it very sparingly. Just be cautious on these things because one click away and you're in a loop, okay? With TikTok, you're in a loop, you're scrolling, you don't even know it. Same thing with all the other apps. Okay? Now, if you can't do this, which is very hard, I'm not going to lie, it's very hard and you will slip up, especially if you are addicted right now. If you can't do this, try to incorporate maybe a 1-day fast every week. Maybe 2 days of fasting every week on the weekend. Okay, that'll equal about a week of fasting per month. That's if you can't do it daily, which I recommend. If you can't do it daily, I do recommend at least maybe 1 day a week. Okay, if you can't do a full week on this first media fast, try 3 days. Try 1 day. You'll feel benefits just from 1 day. But, yeah, do whatever works for you. Just try to incorporate this into your life. It's so beneficial. Even if you're not going to incorporate it into your life, try doing 1 week and just tell me the results. Let me know in the comment section. I want to hear from you guys how this works for you because it works so well for me. It was so eye-opening. I saved $800 a year. I was able to put new habits into effect within a week and really feel the benefits of working and realize that it's not that hard to get to work, you know? The hardest part is starting the work. And it's so hard to start because one click away, I can go get dopamine on my phone. So why am I going to go through this huge process to get dopamine this way when I can do it on my phone? But in the end, it works out better because you actually have benefits in your real life and you're not just waking up off of a screen and realizing that you have nothing, you know? So, yeah, it was super beneficial for me. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Let me know in the comments below. Give it a try. It's worth it. I recommend it. Okay. It's not going to be easy the first couple of days, but just know that. So you're not going to get too discouraged after day 2 when you're super bored. Okay, just keep going. Keep pushing through it. It might not be fun, but you'll feel benefits after day 3 or 4, trust me. And yeah, I wish you guys luck on this journey of fasting, and I hope you guys feel all the benefits that I felt. And yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments how it works for you. And that's about it. Good luck, guys. Appreciate you watching. And have a good day. Peace.